Sarah, if I can come to you then, you're a yoga teacher at Yoga Jais to energise the body through yoga. And I mean, would you say that people are put off yoga or put off even doing yoga in the first place because they think, I am so inflexible, it will be embarrassing, I can't touch my toes, what is the point? In fact, actually, why don't I just sit here and eat another biscuit? That'll make me happy.
Hi. Yes, I think a lot of people are definitely put off yoga because they're scared that they're not flexible enough, or some people might say, well, yoga is just for really young people, or I'm going to be expected to do something very difficult like a headstand. And my advice for those people is that, well, first of all, the ones who think they need to be flexible, you don't need to be flexible to do yoga. That is a fact. Everybody can do yoga if they want. And if you're not flexible, it's no problem. Just stretch as far as you're comfortable with. And over time, you'll hopefully become a little more flexible. And then the people who are worried about having to do really advanced yoga poses or anything that's upside down, those poses, they won't come unless you're ready. So don't worry about that either.
Yes, although actually there are some people, and I'm counting myself in this, who find the upside down positions by far the most exciting, lovely and comfortable positions to be in. So there we go. I probably was a bat in my former life. So, but you're right. It's about, and it's also about trying not to be competitive, even with ourselves.
Absolutely. Don't be competitive with yourself. One of the most important things you can do with yoga is to approach it with a very open mindset and really, focus on yourself. Don't be competitive with yourself and work slowly through the yoga. What you'll find is that you'll enjoy the yoga a lot more if you just focus really on what you're doing and not about hitting a certain goal.
And what about top tips for total yogi beginners? How can they get started? You probably possibly would need a yoga mat, I think.
Yeah, well, a yoga mat does help, but actually, officially, I think you don't even need yoga equipment. So when we say yoga equipment as a yoga teacher, I'm talking about yoga mats, yoga blocks, straps, bolsters. These are actually props, and you don't actually need them. So of course, it's good to have them, but you can substitute. And then for people who are really new to yoga, I do recommend that they approach it with an open mind. Like I said before, there are so many styles of yoga to try, and they can range from very, very relaxing and slow to much more fast-paced and dynamic. So most people should find that there's a style of yoga which works for them. And sort of in the same area, it's really important to note that in the same way that there's many types of yoga, there's also many types of yoga teachers. So it's always worth trying a few different teachers to see which ones you resonate with and connect with and feel comfortable with.
Yeah,
that's very important.
And would you also can I ask all three of you though about eating for exercise, and also just very briefly, if I can ask you first of all, then Sarah, yoga, of course, a lot of twisting, a lot of upside, as you say, upside down if you've been doing it a bit longer. Last time that you should be eating before doing a yoga class?
Some teachers would say don't eat up until 2 hours before doing a yoga class. Okay. But I think if you're eating something very small like banana, I think even 30 minutes before is fine. Ideally, yoga is done with an empty stomach because there is a lot of twisting and there's a lot of going upside down, and you don't want your food coming back up.
No.
So if you're eating something very small, you should be fine even 30, 45 minutes beforehand.